Good morning, you guys. Welcome back. It is Ali. Where's Ali? Your favorite eccentric slow mad, you guys. It's been a while since I've been on live, since I've been on here. It's a little bright outside, but I wanted to come out and do a live this morning before we push off to our next destination and talk about something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I want to let you know whether or not it is easy or difficult, because I see people do this all the time. But it's traveling with a minor, and not just traveling with a minor, but traveling with a minor who is not your child, and the steps and the things that you need to know, things that you need to do to try to make it as seamless as possible. And there's my minor over there. So always keep your eye on your minor, okay? Especially when they not, well, just period. Just keep your eye on your minor. But welcome back, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. It is so beautiful today. Hopefully you guys have been doing great. You haven't missed me too much. Let me know where you're checking in from. If you are a supporter of my channel, I want to thank you guys so much for always coming back and keeping those notifications on so you know when I go live, because it is sporadic and sometimes haphazard when I go on and that kind of thing. So I appreciate you guys. If you're new to my channel and learning about travel now with a 10-year-old, that subscribe button, that like this video, share it, tell a friend, tell somebody you know who wants to travel with kids and is a little timid or afraid to do it. Um, and click that notification bell, you guys, so you know when I am going live again. But let me flip it so you guys can see. I'm staying at a really nice, off the beaten path, but still on the hotel zone place. Really, really nice. We got the Laguna on this side. We're next door to the yacht club, and then there's the beach literally across the road. If you guys don't know already, I am in Cancun. It's my first stop with my accompanied minor, my grandson, and this is his first international trip. So he got his first passport stamp, you guys. So I'm gonna tell you really quick because we're not gonna stay long. We got things to do, places to walk to, things to jump on, and things to see. So we're on an extended um we're on an extended vacation, and and I'm giving him a real visual about a real visual. Hold on, you guys. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Leave some good messages. Ask me about travel, please. Please. Um, hey, Mackenzie. But yeah, I'm giving him a crash course in being a nomad. Now, so many people ask me about nomading, what it's like, what they need to do, all those kinds of things. And some people have asked me, can they ride with me? Um, can they travel with me? And um, usually, I don't have travel partners. I meet people as I travel. I've made some amazing friends around the world, but in this particular case, we are joined at the hip. We are joined at the hip. Morning, y'all. We are joined at the hip, and so yeah, when you're traveling around with minors, you have to consider first thing. I'm a solo traveler, so is completely different to have someone that has to be with you 24/7. Okay, but before we get into that, let's talk about logistics. Let's talk about what types of things um, you need to know if you're going to travel with a minor. And this particular time, it is my grandson. So, first and foremost, first and foremost, get the permission of the children's parents, which I did. And what you have to do to travel with a minor, just to be on the safe side. Number one, if you're traveling internationally, they have to have a passport. Everybody has to have a passport. I think if you're over the age of 1, if you're not even 1, you have to have a passport. Now, the passports are only good for 5 years, and then after that, they're 10-year um, renewals. And so that's number one if you're going to travel internationally. Okay, got a little dark in here. Maybe not on your side, maybe just on my side. And then number two, you have to have a permission, a travel consent form. And you can find these online, pick one, and just you fill it out, and it tells the name of the child, the name of the person, being like myself, who is taking the child um, around the world, where we're going. Try to list a couple countries that you're planning on going to, the address of where you're staying, and kind of the dates that you're planning to be gone. A lot of the forms have the same thing, but the key to this is it has to be notarized and signed by both parents. I also made sure I got my grandson's birth certificate because everybody's names are different. Well, from my name. So wanting to make sure that there was no issues, no questions, that both they can tell that both parents are the parents who signed the permission form, because medical cards, dental cards, get those kinds of things. If you're traveling to a place where healthcare is easy to get to, like it's easy to walk into hospitals pretty much around the world, in most places that tourists would be, especially a place where I would take my grandson for the first time. And, so a lot of times it might be cheaper to just pay for any incident that would happen. God willing, that nothing happens. So making sure you have that covered, have the cards, have a picture of the card, have a little money put aside just in case for incidentals. Um, Making sure you have phone coverage to connect and communicate with the parents. Hey Juan, thank you. Thomas, a nomad, you live one heck of a life if you're sitting by a pool in the sun. For me, I am sitting by a beautiful pool, and it's a beautiful pool. I'm also sitting by a beautiful laguna with amazing yachts. If you know me, boating is my thing. So, insurance cards, um, communication. So making sure you have eSIM, or you get a SIM card where you're going, or if you're traveling from places like the States and Canada, to places like Mexico, our coverage usually transfers over. If you have, you know, a standard call package, unlimited package, like Verizon has unlimited, and so when you go to Mexico or Canada, you have the same coverage, and it doesn't falter, so it doesn't matter if I have Wi-Fi or not. But it's really good, so you can keep in touch with the parents. I say that that is a plus, and then, the kids stay on task. In this particular case, I am traveling with my grandson during the school year, so he is being homeschooled. So we're going to get into some of those things and talk about like how that makes life a little bit different. So making sure you have those things, and then just in terms of getting to the airport, especially if it's that child's first time traveling, the experience and making sure everything goes along without a hitch. You want to make sure you're not like cutting it close to like the wire with things as much as you possibly can. So we arrived at the airport 3 hours early, had everything taken care of. We had already checked in. We actually came with very minimal baggage. We have two carry-on carry-on, like basically backpacks, small, like regular size backpacks. The biggest one is 44 liters, and that's on wheels. So not an issue. We didn't have to check anything. Everything can go on the plane with us. We don't have to wait for baggage. One thing I will say that I regret di- not doing is rebooking my our transport from the airport when we got here, because our flight was delayed like 4 times. I ended up canceling my transport and ended up paying 4 times as much when I landed. Anyway, that's very seasoned. Hold on, you guys. Let me. Um, Alphonse, no, it isn't that old world word for bum. Yeah, if you want to call it a bum, I'm bumming. I am. I am bumming. The best bum in the world. Um, and so making it as seamless as possible for the child is the most important, because you want them to have a good experience, especially if it's their first time traveling. You guys, if you know me, you follow me, you know how important it is. Like, I live off of telling people and sharing my experience and how to travel and how to do this, even as everyday regular people. Anybody can do this at least once. Most people can do it. There's always going to be a reason why someone can't. I get it. But 9 times out of 10, we can travel, even if it's within our own cities or states or whatever, or provinces or whatever, you know, um, um, type of structure that we live in. And in our hometowns, we can travel sometimes and visit other places. If you have access, I say do it. And so I'm big on sharing that. That's one of the things that I specialize in, is teaching people how to move about the world, cities, uh, on a budget, if you need to be on a budget, and just knowing the things to look for and be mindful of. And this is one of the things, is doing things in a way that you don't create stresses for yourself, and definitely don't create stresses for kids, right? And so making sure we got to the airport super early, walking around. I always go and find my gate for. These are just some of the things that I do regularly, even as I travel by myself. But making sure that he was comfortable, and talking him through everything. And even as we were getting delays after delays after delays after delays, which I don't think I've had anywhere except in the States. Knock on wood, there's no wood. So um, all of that made the experience much better for him, and much more comfortable. And makes it so that this is something he would want to experience again, because this is just kind of like the beginning. I picked Mexico because it's the closest, easiest place to get to if anything should arise. If this was a horrible experience, it's easy to turn around. The cost is inexpensive. And I'm going to tell you, for everybody who, have a lot of people who have good lives and live, but they can't figure out how to travel. They think it's super expensive. The tickets were $120 one way, of course. He already had his passport. So if you count a passport, I think the passports are 160, 120, 160, something like that. And then our flight was 120. And we're traveling during peak season, so it isn't always going to be this price. You're going to get higher and get lower. So, you know, I can travel at any time. So planning is very important as well. So that's the price for that. And then I basically just got a place. We actually have a studio apartment with 2 beds, a full kitchen, full bathroom, and of course this beautiful luxurious area, very quiet. We are right by the hotel zone, well, down the street and around the corner, which is perfect because we can walk to it, we can cab, bus to it, do whatever. We can walk across the street, all of this. We have access to so many things. But when we come back, we have peace. If we want to swim, there's other people here that have kids and stuff, so he has someone to play with. I have people that I can talk to. Everybody's really friendly. So making sure that you plan if you are not seasoned in this, setting aside an emergency fund for different things that may or may not happen, and you can kind of calculate that based on how many people are traveling with you. But it's something that is not difficult, and that's just the beginning steps. You can always reach out to me, and I talk through people through a consultation, like going through the steps that you need in order to become a start planning for travel. It's not even like, okay, you're gonna talk to Ali and all of a sudden you're like this great traveler. You may be, but there are people out here like me who can help you get started and experiencing this life for yourself to see if it's something that you want to do. I have friends who travel and they don't like the long term nomad life. I call it slow madding. I am gone for at least a year at a time before I bounce back into the States to see family, go to weddings. If I'm summoned back, I go back, but quite frankly, I can easily stay gone and not need to come back if I don't have to. If there's nothing logistically or family related that makes me come back to the States, it's not necessary. There's so much work and I actually love exploring it, but I know there are people who do not like that lifestyle, right? So anyway, I want to introduce my grandson to this, and I am big on experience. Experiences are better than dreams. If you never experience it, how would you ever know? And so I want him to be able to decide whether or not he likes something or not, right? So the other part of this is the familial part, the part that is, how does it change my quality of life? And so right out the gate, it makes it so much better because I've been wanting to do this forever. And so I knew I was going to have to make some compromises and concessions, traveling with someone, being with someone 24/7 when I'm normally not, right? Um, and so, thinking about that, thinking about space, thinking about comfortability as I'm looking for places, it is a little bit tougher to find things and stay within a decent budget because we are doing this long term, at least for 2 months. And so, staying at $100 a night place is not just doesn't make any sense for me financially, because I'm not spending $3,000 for a place, right? And so I have to be more cognizant of the places that I pick. I can't just pick a basic studio with one bed unless it's a king size bed or something like that, or a pull out sofa, something like that. So I have to be cognizant about my accommodations, even more so than I normally am. I'm cognizant about where we're going, how we're getting to places. We are walkers. Is it walkable? Even more walkable than it would be just for me. So thinking about those things, he's homeschooled, so I have to make sure that we can hotspot from our phones, but um, you still have a certain amount of hours to hotspot. So we still want to make sure we're in a place where we have good Wi-Fi, so he can get through his subjects and all of that and stay on task because he still needs to go to school. He still needs that rearing. So that's very important as well. So just little things to think about, when you're just like, oh, well, it's fine. I'm just going to bop in between places. Well, we want to actually sit for at least a whole month in one place so that we can move around and I can show him this country because Mexico is a beautiful, beautiful country. And popping in Cancun was just the first stop since we flew in, and our flight ended up arriving so late. So we just stayed in the city. But there's so many other beautiful cities here, and we're going to at least hit a couple of them so that he can experience them. So thinking about that, thinking about double costs for everything, and just making sure someone else eats is one thing that's super important. I could kind of wing it and figure things out and do whatever, but I gotta make sure that I have like well balanced things for him to eat. Keeping up with just keeping him moving and shaking and uh, experiencing this, well, living through this experience, but also understanding that it's not vacation. So we're not here every day to go to Xcaret. We're not here every day to, just be out and about and all of that. We are actually in the middle of living real life, right? And so with that being said, we have days where we're in the apartment. If we get a late start, we might not get out and get our workout in, our walk, whatever, until 4 or 5 p.m. at night. But it doesn't mean that we have to be doing something amazing every single day. And the amazing part is that we're here. We are in another country. And so I like to stress that, because a lot of people are like, oh, you guys are on vacation, or man, that's a great vacation, but it's not. This is life. I'm showing him that the life that he lives on a regular basis, people around the world live very similar lives. We all walk and work and go to school and eat and cook at home, and we do this everywhere. And so it's an opportunity for me to share with him how similar we are, and that everything isn't a vacation. And sometimes, even when we're in beautiful spots and we want to be in the pool all day, we can't, because we got things that we have to do. And so, from that perspective, I've had to um, kind of do a little bit more planning, I would say. But also kind of wing it, as much as I possibly can, but also making sure that he's comfortable, his parents are comfortable, they're comfortable with me. I appreciate the respect and the fact that they gave me, granted me my grandson, so that he could experience this with me. So there's just those are just a few little things that you need to know about traveling with a minor. If you want to take a niece, a nephew, grandchild, whatever, with you when you're traveling, it does change some things. So yeah, no, I'm not out here dating. I have my grandson with me. And when he's not with me, then I'll get back to living my single life. No, I'm not at bars. No, I don't leave him. We're together 24/7, and so that is something that you really, really, really need to be cognizant of. If he were going to live with me full time, I would work out some kind of arrangements where he'd be in a school program or some sort of program where he'd get to mingle with kids on a regular basis, and then that would be possibly my free time to go and have coffee and stuff with other people, and meet some people that I know live in different countries, and because I have to have a life as well. But for this short stint, that is something I was willing to compromise and give up. And those are things like you have to think about. You can't, there's a level of not being selfish that you have to tap into when you decide to go on a journey like this and take someone else with you. So those are just a few tips I want to throw on and say it is hot as forever. I want y'all to see that. I'm sweating like a banshee, but we are getting ready to get up and go check out. I just wanted to jump on and chat with you guys. Also wanted to let you guys know I just did a retie on my hair, and I haven't done a retie and a full retie all the way to the tips in 6, 7, maybe 8 months. I'm gonna do another video on the retie situation, but I just wanted to point that out because some people ask me about my hair, and so I just finished it late last night at like midnight last night. So happy for that too. So now I'm fresh, flowing, and ready to move about. If you guys have any other questions, logical questions, respectful questions, please leave them in the comments. Share this with other people. There's so much more that I can share. Those are just some tidbits that I wanted to throw out and let you guys know what we're doing. Stay in touch, click that notification bell so that you see little snippets, and I'll be sharing some shorts and stuff of us moving around and exploring and what his experiences are. I may even have him come on one of my lives with me and talk about his experience as well. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Hopefully this is helpful for anybody. If you know anybody who is considering traveling with children, please share this video with them. Send them, tell them to leave me a comment if they have any questions. There's some things that I'll answer directly on videos, but if it gets more in depth about very specific things, then definitely have a consultation and we can talk through it. But that's about it, you guys. We're gonna get ready to get out of here. You all are always a blast. I love y'all to pieces, and I guess I'll see you guys on the next go round. Y'all know the drill. Toodles and noodles, peace and hair grease.